Welcome back to your latest industry recap. An Emirates A350 change, the end of an era for the Airbus A380 at an airline that never took it up, and Delta cancelling a route. Why not begin with Emirates, who are increasing the presence of their next generation A350 across the network. The Dubai-based company announcing last week its intent to deploy the state-of-the-art wide-body on service through to Hangzhou, China daily. Emirates will begin the daily service with the aircraft from the 26th of October 2025. And this comes just 3 to 4 months after the inaugural service, but does one thing for sure: show the commitment to China and offering more opportunities to access the Chinese mainland. The 350 will operate EK310 with a departure from Dubai International at 4:15 in the morning and an arrival into Hangzhou at 4 p.m, the return flight EK311. Emirates states that over the last year it has placed a great emphasis on developing services to the Chinese mainland, and yes, not just launching brand new destinations, but elevating existing ones with state-of-the-art equipment. A way for Emirates to elevate its flying has been through the deployment of the latest onboard cabin product to specific locations, either achieved through the Airbus A350 or through the gradual return of retrofitted aircraft from the 777 and A380 programs. The A350 for Emirates represents an opportunity to diversify its fleet mix, with a reduced reliance on the 777 and A380 two high-capacity jets. What the Airbus widebody offers is greater flexibility to serve emerging markets and ones that may not require such a large plane, something Emirates may have once been able to do, but certainly not as of late, with just 2 aircraft families present. These Airbus A350s also present, well, the first new aircraft model to join the fleet since 2008, now almost 2 decades ago, which shows just how long the airline has looked to strictly rely on a composition of the 777 and A380 fleet types. The A350 also introduces premium economy to Hangzhou. The Dubai-based carrier has been on a real rapid expansion, attempting to introduce the latest premium offering to cities right around the world. Emirates says that the premium economy brings a similar experience to business class at a fraction of the cost, while also representing a modest upgrade on standard economy, with things such as a reclining seat, footrests alongside seat charging, a pillow, blanket, and more. Over to the next story, and that's the end of an era, with the A380 coming to really a big close at Skymark Airlines. The Japanese carrier is moving ahead with the withdrawal of registrations for 13 aircraft that it had previously reserved with the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism at the Japan Civil Aviation Bureau. Included in the 13 registrations were those that were destined for the Airbus A380, which, remember, at one point was intended to be part of the fleet. Now, with those reserved registrations being shelved from the not taken up aircraft, it opens up fresh opportunities for inbound aircraft to take up these. Aviation Wire reported the story as part of the airline's continued transition towards a greater reliance on the 737 MAX program for single-aisle flying. Ultimately, the removal of these reserved registrations intended for the A380 ranged from JA380A through JA380F to represent the expected delivery of 6 units. Moreover, the change marks the end of an era for the airline, as its order for the A380 was cancelled long ago. Details such as these, however, show that the remembrance of a failed transaction can linger for quite a while after the actual formal cancellation came through, as it's more than just an order that is prepared when a new aircraft arrives. See, Skymark Airlines' purchase of the 380 arguably represented one of the weirder times in the history of the Japanese company, and played a role also subsequently in its downfall. The company placing a firm deal for the acquisition of 6 units over a decade ago, with the intent to utilize the world's largest passenger plane to break into the long-haul international market. For Skymark, the move represented a shift from what it had long been known for, and was a way to bring the airline closer to 2 of its competitors in the domestic space of ANA and Japan Airlines. However, just less than half a decade after purchasing the A380, there were grave concerns that emerged over the airline's ability to take delivery of the aircraft. Many observers, and actually this also included Airbus, which was producing the aircraft in question, were concerned about whether or not Skymark's finances would be able to hold up when taking on these A380s, and whether or not they would be able to fulfill the contractual obligations. Ultimately, that did not eventuate. And after Airbus on several occasions doubted Skymark's ability to fulfill them, the order was cancelled. That then pushed Skymark Airlines into a major restructuring window. And now they are looking to emerge in a far more streamlined fashion, with a greater reliance on aircraft types such as the 737 MAX. Over to the final story, and Delta will lack service across a popular transatlantic route after 34 years of service. Aero Route's scheduling shows that the filing update occurring on the 12th of September will bring an end to the New York JFK through to Brussels route. The last flight will have a departure on the 5th of January 2026 from New York and mark the end of over 3 decades of operation between the two cities. The only other period when the flight saw a pause was during the COVID-19 pandemic, when the US company was forced to suspend, you may recall, a great deal of its international network in a bid to consolidate its operations. Moving forward, consolidation will occur across the airline's Brussels services, with Atlanta being the only city to receive the connectivity in 2026, and the schedule will be brought forward in 2026 to help cover the lost capacity that we will see from the departure of the long-standing New York JFK to Brussels flight. That'll conclude today's industry recap. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Thanks you very much for your support here on the channel. It means a lot. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow for your next industry recap.
And we'll fly.